Hello students! In this lesson, we will discuss on how to name our functional group ketones. We will discuss what is a ketone, its general formula, how it differs from an aldehyde, and how to name our ketones. But first, stay tuned till the end of this lesson as I'll reveal the answer to our pretest. So, based on your prior knowledge, can you guess what is the name of these following ketones? Ketone is one of our functional group in organic chemistry, and it is widely used mainly as a solvent in different industries. Now, ketone, it has a general formula of R1-CO-R2, wherein R1 represents the first carbon chain, and we have in between its carbonyl group and followed by another carbon chain, and ketone has a suffix of an -one. Ketones and aldehydes are often misinterchanged or misidentified from each other, but they have their main difference. Here I have an aldehyde. Its carbonyl group is always located in the first carbon, and it is attached to a hydrocarbon chain and a hydrogen. Meanwhile, our ketone, its carbonyl group is always right in the middle of two hydrocarbon chain. So, let's get to know on how to name our ketones. Naming ketones is no different in naming other functional group in organic chemistry. We just simply have to identify the longest parent chain and then specify the location of that specific functional group. So in the case of our first example here of our ketone, we have here a ketone with 5 carbon to carbon chain with no double or triple bond. So this specific parent chain is a pentane, and then as we can see, our ketone or our carbonyl group is located on the second carbon. So, the name of this ketone is pentan 2-one or 2-pentanone. So, take note, ketones will have the suffix of an -one. Let's have another example in naming our ketone. So, first things first, we have to count the number of carbon to carbon chain in our example. So, in this case, we have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 carbon to carbon chain, and since we can see any double or triple bond, this parent chain is named hexane. Now, it's now time for us to specify the location of our ketone or our functional group, which is located on the third carbon. And do we see any substituents or branches? There are none. So it's now time to give this a name, and the name of this example, this is a hexane 3-one or 3-hexanone. So that's just how simple to name our basic ketone. So let's have another example. In this next example, let's spice things a bit. So as you can see, we now added a double bond and a branch or substituent in this ketone. So first things first, let's identify the parent chain. So as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 carbon to carbon chain with a double bond on the third carbon. So this means that we have an alkene for our parent chain. And to give this a name, we have 3-octene, and that's the name of our parent chain. Second thing, let's identify the location of our ketone, which is in the second carbon. And lastly, let's identify any branches or substituents that is not part of our parent chain. And there we have it. That's the methyl group on the fourth carbon, and its name is 4-methyl. Now, it's now time to add them all together to have our ketone name. So, the variables we have first the name of our branch. Second is our parent chain, which is an octene. So we have to specify the location of the double bond on the third carbon. That's why we have the 3-ene, and that's a suffix for the alkene. And lastly, the location of our ketone. So that's on the second carbon with the suffix of -one. So finally, the name of our ketone is 4-methyl-oct 3-ene 2-one. Alright? So that's just how easy it is to name our ketone. We just have to simply follow a step-by-step process. So similar in naming other functional group. So since you've stayed towards the end of this lesson, I'll now reveal the answer to our pretest earlier. So the name of these following ketones are, the first one is a butan 3-one or a 3-butanone. And the second one, it's a 4-methyl 3-hexene 2-one. Alright? Thank you so much for listening to this lesson, and I hope you learned something to study your organic chemistry lessons. As same as before, I will put down in the description down below the PowerPoint presentation I've used in this discussion. Alright? So thank you so much once again, and I'll catch you in the next one.